So I haven't decided whether this part of the video is going to be at the beginning of the video or the end of the video. So basically it is Thursday morning and this video is going live on Thursday evening. So it is a very last minute decision to sit and chat in this way. But I just thought that the video wasn't really going well this week. I was in a bit of a funk. And I almost thought I'm not going to post a video because I'm not feeling it and I can't really get motivated with anything that I had planned. So and when I'm in that kind of mood, I think it's not fair on my lovely audience. They deserve something beautiful, something that they're used to. So it's best for me just to park it and come back when I'm feeling better. But then I thought, you know what, maybe it's time to do something a little bit different and do a different approach and share the more real and the more vulnerable side of life, which is not something that I tend to do here on this channel. And it's quite ridiculous because I have known all of you for 5 years. I've been sharing my life for 5 years. I've shared a lot of my life, and I think over the years I've become more real and more personal and shared more. So I thought, why not share the real parts of me as well that perhaps you've never seen before. So this week has been quite a difficult one, and it's difficult for me to explain exactly why. I've just been in a very blue mood all week, and I've just found it really, really hard just to be motivated to do anything. I think it started when I was supposed to be travelling back from my parents' house on Monday. My mum dropped me off at the train station and I walked to my stop and I was waiting there, and then I checked my app to check which seat I was going to be sitting in, and it came up on the screen, train cancelled, which was a real pain. I had lots of things to do in Edinburgh that day. It takes about 3 hours to get home on the train. This was early morning, and so I had to call my mum to come pick me up again. So that took about half an hour. Go all the way back to their house, which is another half an hour away, and then I thought, okay, I'm going to have to leave in the morning. But I had so much to do, and then something with Sophie as well, which I'll talk about in a moment. So I decided to hire a car, so I had to drive to... My sister dropped me off at the car hire place. It cost about £200 to hire a car. 5.5-hour journey, more if you stop for a break, which you have to. So that, I think, just put me in a very bad mood to start the week. It was a real inconvenience. I felt like time was wasted. And it just seems to be that whenever I travel on a train, there's always an issue. And I think I'm hearing this more and more in the UK. There's something with our trains where they're either on strike, the staff are on strike, or there's a problem with the lines, or there's a problem with the weather, and there's always an issue every time I go there. So I was just very frustrated with it all. And I'd just done that journey the week before when I was in the Cotswolds, so to do it twice, it's just too long, and I was just not in the best place. So I got here late on Monday evening. The next morning, I had an appointment, which I had to get up early for. And also whilst I was away, they'd been replacing my boiler, so I came back to a little bit of a mess in the house. So it was just one of those things where nothing was going very well. And then on Wednesday, Sophie was scheduled to have quite a big operation. I took her to the vet last week before I left for my parents. She goes every 3 months for a checkup. And the vet looked inside her mouth at her teeth and said that she had an infection, that she needed to have some teeth removed. And it's quite worrying. Sophie's almost 14. She's got chronic bronchitis, which she has pills for. She has a very raspy throat. When she gets excited in the morning for her breakfast, she starts to heave and cough. And so I asked the vet that day, is she going to be okay with the general anaesthetic? And the vet said, well, it is a risk. She is older, but she'll probably be in pain from her infection. So I would advise to go ahead with the operation. So I was already very nervous about this operation, and I just thought, whilst we were away at my parents' house, it seemed like her cough was getting worse. So I called the vet And I just asked them if I could have a few more days just to think about it, for them to kind of reassure me before we did the operation. Because I thought if I'm in this low mood and then something happens to Sophie, I'm not in the place to cope with it very well. So even though I don't want Sophie to suffer with pain, I just thought it would be best to wait for a few days. So she's going in next week to have that. And I am still very, very nervous about it, but I don't want her to be in any discomfort or any pain. So she definitely needs to go and have that done. And I just have to try and hope for the best. I mean, my parents' friend, their dog was quite old and they had a similar thing. And it was fine, and I think, you know, a lot of older dogs do, but it's just that worry of putting her in a position where she's going to be under general anaesthetic, she's got chronic bronchitis, and it was just worrying me. So that was another thing. I felt guilty about postponing the operation. I was worried about it, and I've just been quite blue this week. And then to top it off, we had dreadful weather for like 2 days, and I just felt like I couldn't do anything. And I think sometimes when you feel that way, you have to kind of just accept it and say, okay, what are you going to do for yourself to either cheer yourself up or just embrace this blue feeling? And for me, I think the best way is to either go out and do something or just to lay down, close my eyes and just relax. And I chose that because the weather was really bad. I couldn't go out to the house, and I couldn't really think of anything that I wanted to do. So I just thought, relax, close your eyes, maybe have a sleep. And I did that, and then later in the afternoon, the sun came out, and I was feeling a lot better. And I am feeling a lot better now. And this is what happens to me. I'm not somebody who gets depressed very easily. I don't have long spells of feeling blue. I sometimes have a day here and there, and I always know it's going to pass and that I'm going to be fine. So I don't want anybody to worry about me. This is not a video to make people panic or a video where people will feel sorry for me, but I just thought that it was a great opportunity, instead of not posting a video this week because I didn't have the motivation to do it, instead share something a bit real and maybe something that people can relate to. So maybe it will be useful for you if you are feeling like that. I don't really have a huge amount of advice. It's not really an advice video how to get through it, but it's more of a sharing my personal story, my side of things, so that you can see that, you know, I do present on YouTube this image of perfection, of a life being absolutely wonderful, of everything being beautiful, but I too have those days where I can't do anything except lay in bed or on the sofa, and it is completely normal. So I wanted to share that with you all. I also wanted to ask if any of you have older dogs who've been under general anaesthetic. Was it okay? Do you have any stories? Perhaps it could reassure me. I always really value your opinion. You know, I ask for your opinion for a lot of things, whether that's decorating, a paint colour, or advice about my lovely Sophie. So yeah, I just wanted to share all of that with you. So this video today is a bit of a different one. I'm not really doing anything except chatting all the way through, so I hope that you don't mind, but sometimes I do feel like this channel is my place to escape, to share. It's always been a place of sharing what I'm doing, and this week I didn't really do anything because I just couldn't. So I thought that it would be valuable to share that with you all. And I do thank you all for your love and support. You always help me through so much, so thank you. Well, good morning everybody. So it is Tuesday morning and I got back to Edinburgh quite late last night. I went to Staffordshire to stay with my parents for my niece's 8th birthday party. It is always the best party of the year because it's in June, July. It just depends on the school calendar, but it's usually late June or early July. And it starts off at about 3 in the afternoon, and then when it gets to about 7 o'clock in the evening, it becomes an adults party, and it becomes like my sister's annual summer party. And in her garden, we always have the best weather. She really is an amazing party organizer, so it ends up being really fun. So I had a lovely time, really beautiful time with my family. The next time I'm going to see them is in about 2 weeks, because I'm going off to Mallorca. My sister has a house in Mallorca, so we're going to go and stay there for 2 weeks. So I'll see them in about 2 weeks' time in Mallorca, so I'm excited. I've got a very busy week ahead. In about half an hour, I'm going to Pilates. I like to start my morning with that. I've been doing that quite regularly recently, but I just thought that I would do a little bit of skincare before I leave. So I have talked about this before. This is one of my very favourite devices, and I do talk about it a lot because I genuinely love it. And I genuinely believe that it has been incredible for my skin. So this is the FAQ 202 from Foreo, Sweden, and this is a new generation of LED mask. And I've been using this for over a year now, and I think that what I found is that my skin is more bright, clear, smooth, my pores have been reduced. I sometimes have a little bit of redness around my eyes. It's really helped with that. And overall, it's just really brightened my complexion and made it look even more beautiful. So I always like to recommend this. I have recommended it quite a few times here on the channel, but I know that everybody loves these devices from Foreo, so I like to share them when I can. And the reason why I'm sharing it again today is because Foreo have, they're celebrating their birthday, and they are giving us a great discount. So I will share that with you in just a moment. So yes, this is an LED mask. It has different LED colours to target different things. So we have anti-wrinkle, quick refresh, which just boosts radiance, oil balancing to reduce excess sebum production and balance your skin, repairing to combat natural signs of skin damage from sun exposure, pollution, lack of sleep and stress, and brightening, which is a 10-minute detox to diminish dullness, untired skin and illuminate your complexion. We also have tightening, a rejuvenating skin treatment designed to diminish skin sagging, fine lines and wrinkles in just 8 minutes. Revitalizing, a 15-minute treatment to breathe new life into your complexion. Calming, combat stress, redness and inflammation. There's so many different treatments. They're all wonderful. The one that I would like to do this morning is tightening. I love to do this very first thing in the week. I would have done it yesterday, but I was travelling, so I'm going to do an 8-minute tightening treatment. And what this does, you can pair it with your smartphone, or you can just use the mask on its own. But I like to pair it with my smartphone so that I can get the guided treatment. So I'm going to do this now. Push start on my app here, and this will guide me through the facial. 8 minutes of this treatment. We have phase 1, which is red LED light. This improves fine lines, sunspots, wrinkles and sagging, and then it will take me through all of the other ones, so I will come back when I've finished. Okay, so that is my treatment complete. A bit of skin tightening. What do you think? Do you think my skin looks tighter, more radiant? I really do love this mask because when you use it regularly, you see the benefits. And like I said, I've been using it for about a year. I use it religiously about 3 times a week, and I've definitely noticed that my skin is a lot more beautiful, bright, clear, less red, pores are minimised. It does all of these wonderful things. So, to celebrate Foreo's birthday this year, they are giving us a 35% discount. So this is across most of the Foreo products, and it is also stackable. So what that means is if you go onto their website and they have 20% off one of their products, you can also use my 35% off as well. So that is pretty cool, and the Foreo products are very rarely on discount, so this is a great treat for us all. So if you would like to try out the Foreo products for yourselves, all you need to do is click the link in the description box, and you can enter code Nicolas35 at checkout for your 35% discount. Okay, so I am going to head off to Pilates now. I might see if I can film a little bit there. I'm not sure because it is my members club and we're not really allowed to film. but they do have an amazing floral display outside of the entrance, which I want to show you, so I will show you that. And I'll see you when I get back. Well, I am just back from Pilates. I'm just going to move this down a little bit. And I've got ready for the day. And if I'm totally honest, I'm feeling very unmotivated today. The weather, if you could see out this window, it is absolutely pouring with rain. I'm quite cold, that's why I've got this jumper on, this cardigan. And there's literally nothing that I can do outside. I would love to go out, walk the city, do some fun things, maybe see friends, but when it is pouring like this, there's just absolutely no way, and I can't even get Sophie out of the house in this weather. She refuses to go out in this weather. She will go out into the courtyard, maybe do her business, but she will not walk out in this. So it's kind of just a day at home. So I thought, well, I can do some things here and share it with you all, and you can join me, keep me company as I spend this very rainy day inside, and I can tell that this is going to last all day. Summer in Edinburgh, totally different to the rest of England, the UK. It's 35 degrees in London, which is probably too hot. I wouldn't want it to be that warm, but it would be nice just to have a little bit of dryness. I'll show you outside. So I feel like whenever I get something new, either for the house or for myself, I always like to share the moment with you all, because you've been with me now for so many years, like 5 years, and I have just got so used to sharing everything. It's like sharing everything with a friend. So I want to share with you the newest thing that I've bought for myself, a treat that I've got myself after a lot of consideration. So I have wanted for the longest time to have a beautiful classic watch. I'm not somebody who likes lots of jewellery. I don't wear really any jewellery. I don't wear rings or anything like that. And I haven't had a good watch for, well, I've never really had a proper watch in my life because I was never really interested in watches. But in the last few years, I have come to appreciate really classic, beautiful watches. And I wanted to buy myself a vintage watch, something that was old and used, and maybe looked a little bit worn, and maybe looked like it had been passed down through the generations. And the watch that I really loved the most was the Cartier Tank. Now, I think my love for this watch stemmed from Jackie Kennedy, because she had a beautiful Cartier Tank with a black leather strap. It was very unassuming, very chic and elegant. It didn't shout in any way. And it was a gift from her brother-in-law, Stas Radziwill. And it was to commemorate this walk that JFK had organised. He was trying to push Americans to get out more and do more exercise. So I believe that Stas Radziwill and another friend completed this hike, and Jackie was watching, and so this watch was engraved on the back, and it says to Stas from to Jackie, love Stas, and then the timings of the hike. And this watch sold at Christie's a few years ago for $328,000, I believe it was. And oh, my neighbour's just going past. And yeah, so it just ignited my love for this watch even more. Princess Diana used to wear a Cartier Tank as well. It's a very timeless, elegant watch. Andy Warhol wore one, and he didn't even wind up the watch. He just used to wear it because he loved how beautiful it was. So I have been spending quite a long time trying to find the perfect watch. And there's an app called Chrono24 that all of the watches on there are verified. You can completely trust them. When you send the payment, it goes into an escrow, and the funds aren't released until everything's been checked. So it's a super great website for buying watches if you like them. And then what you can do is you can save all the ones that you like, and when you buy a watch, it's very clever. It will keep the watch on file for you, and it will monitor how much it goes up or down in value. Now, I'm not interested in the value of my watch. It is purely something that I wanted to have, that I could keep for the rest of my life and possibly pass down to maybe a niece or nephew. So I'm going to show you the watch. This came last week. It came from America, and it got here very, very quickly. And this is my watch, and I have to tell you, I'm so delighted with it. It is a tiny Cartier Tank with this brown leather strap, and it has gold hardware. That's the back, the clasp, and if I just undo this, you can see in the back here, it is marked. So it's a Cartier Tank, quartz. And this is from 1980. Now, the reason why I love this one so much is because it is slightly battered. The enamel is coming off here, the gold enamel. There's a little scratch on the top here. The leather strap is a little bit worn. It looks like it was passed down to me from a relative, and that's what I like the most. Something that looks old, worn, not flashy in any way. I mean, I bet most young people seeing this watch would not even blink, and they would never want it even if I offered it to them, because it's a little bit battered. But that is why I love it so much, because it's old, classic, and beautiful, and I just find it so understated. I can walk around with this on, and probably no one will notice it. And one of my style icons, Bunny Mellon, her mantra was, nothing should be noticed. And I think if I was wearing a watch, and everybody was thinking, wow, where did you get that watch? Then it wouldn't really be for me. I want something that's a bit more understated, and just something that I can look at and enjoy. And I have to say, I've been wearing this for the last few days, and I can't stop looking at it. It is so beautiful. So that is my Cartier Tank, and I just wanted to share it with you, because as I mentioned, it's one of those things that feels like a milestone for me, something that I've wanted to have, I've took time to think about, and something that I've really enjoyed. And I have written a blog post on my Substack about this watch, about the inspiration, and about Jackie Kennedy's watch as well. So if you would like to read that for free, you can do. I will pop the link in the description box for you. So yeah, that is my watch, and I wanted to share it with you here today. Well, everybody, that is it for today's video. And when I was editing it just now, I was thinking, shall I post this? And it's just that thing of feeling like I'm not really giving any value to you all. But I don't know, something in me feels like talking honestly and openly about feeling depressed or down is probably a good thing when I'm always here showing perfection and beauty, for people to understand that life is hard. And I know that I've mentioned this before, earlier on. So I hope that this has been useful for some of you at least. I never really talked so openly before, so it's very difficult for me to deal with this concept. But I am feeling a lot better and looking forward to sharing lots more beautiful things in the next episode to come. So don't worry, this isn't going to turn into a channel where I'm constantly moaning and chatting. I will be back to regular schedule very soon. I'm really missing my best friend, Nathan. He is in Jersey. He's been there for a few weeks, having a holiday. We've been catching up on FaceTime. He really cheered me up the other day when I was feeling down. He doesn't really have to say that much, but he just knows how to make me feel happy. So, yes, we are going to be seeing each other in a few weeks, I think before I go to Mallorca. And then we have a Cotswolds trip planned, which I think I mentioned before. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. So yes, I will be back to regular uplifting posting, should I say, next time. But thank you for sticking with me, for putting up with me when I'm a little bit low. But I'm feeling a lot better, and I think better for sharing it with you all. So thank you, everybody. Take care of yourselves. If any of you are feeling low, I hope that it soon passes you by and that you can lift yourself up. But it is normal to feel like that from time to time. So take care, and I will see you next time.